Hello, my name is SaulApeMan and I'm the sitting president of Polish Para-Rifle University. And I want to share some para-rifle build orders. We are going to start in this video with the most safe build order that gives you a lot of options, that is very immune to harass. As we can see on the stream, there are actually three different build orders for para-rifle and we are naming them with the amount of rifles that we have during our tech. So, the most tricky build order is 2 rifle tech, but we don't use it very often. Of course, Lemes, the professor of Polish Para-Rifle University, showed the power of this build order versus Nidals, but it's not being used very often and it's kind of hard. So we are going to review it in another video. For 3 rifle tech is like the standard build order, but it gives you a little bit faster tech, but you don't have the arcane tower, you don't have lumber mill. And speaking about those things, we have our build order that I'm going to review here. It's 4 rifle tech, and it gives you everything. It gives you 4 rifles, so you can creep very fast. It gives you arcane tower before tier 2, which helps you versus harass immediately. And because you will get some resources to spend before you get enough wood, you will have some gold to spend, you will start the lumber mill before tier 2 because it don't slow down your tier 2. And as we can see in the summary, it has a lot of advantages and it has one but strong disadvantage, which is slow tier 2. But we are learning para rifle here. We are not going to think about sharp timings here. I'm just going to show you an easy build order that is easy to survive early game, even versus good aggressive player, so you can enjoy tier 2 power spike of Pala Rifle. Before we continue with replay review, I would like to talk about base layout with Pala Rifle. And this is base layout that I prefer, and Lemes builds his base differently. But in my opinion, I have good success with this base layout and I want to present it to you. First, you can ask Saul why there is an arcane tower in front of your base. Usually, human players are putting arcane towers close to the peasants in a gold mine. And the answer is because Pala Rifle is very immobile, you will be close to your base often. And this arcane tower job is to help you versus harass. It should help you versus Farseer wolves. Sometimes Death Knight can harass you with coils. And it helps you versus harass, but it also helps you to creep. And I'm not talking about killing creeps with towers because it doesn't give you the experience. But when you have tower that in front of your base, you can pull the creep to your base. And if your opponent wants to creep jack you, I'm talking about small camps. And it's not very useful on every map, but on Concealed Hill, it's very useful. And like if Farseer wants to fight you over like one turtle, one troll, he may often go into the tower range. So yes, I do prefer to have an arcane tower in front because it won't take much damage in the early game because we will be around to protect it. And it's very good to drain mana very fast from your opponent hero. The other part of my base layout is that I'm building a wall. And of course, it's not possible to close your base from small units like ghouls, footmen, skeletons. But every bigger unit and even Headhunter is bigger than Ghoul. So Headhunter cannot go through, let's say, between an altar and farm. When you build your base like that, the only opening that exists in your base is on the top. And usually you need to plan that opening to be far away from your opponent base, right? So in this particular situation, we spawned on the top of the map. Opponent will come from the bottom, so we leave opening on the top. And you may ask, Saul, why are you not closing your base immediately? Because pressure versus pala rifle can happen, and you want to use your base to your advantage. And when on tier 1 with when you close your base or make the opening to your base very very small at the start of the game, it's very hard to fight there. Your units will block each other, you don't have long rifles range yet, so you cannot fight very efficiently, and your opponent has a lot of space to round. He can attack freely, so you need to leave your base open a little bit. And we will talk about closing your base in general, but you should close your base around tier 2. Not now, I mean around when your tier 2 is done, when your blood mage is out, because that's the usual timing when your opponent wants to lame you as an orc, as an idol. But now it doesn't matter. So as we can see on the yellow, I put your like defensive forces in this opening, and I put a Farseer that is going through the opening, but as you can see, Farseer is in the Arcane Tower range, and I killed many heroes because they went into my base that even thought that they can escape through the like start of the war, through the like bottom right, and they didn't know that it's fully blocked. So yes, this is the base layout that I prefer, and make sure that you don't build your altar close to the barracks, because those buildings have a big like opening around them. Because you need to remember that if building is making units, it's able to make units, heroes, it has like a big opening around, and farm has a very small opening around. So if you make altar close to farm, there is no like big gap that like hero can go through. Only a ghoul can go through. So like I like to separate every building with the farms basically. Let's go back to the review. As you can see on the right of the screen, I prepared a little visual help for you to follow this build order properly. And I'm going to name peasants with numbers that are corresponding to their food, that your total food value that you had during this peasant training. And in the second column called action Q, I prepared a little bit description about what a given peasant is going to do during after his first task. So let's try to follow this build order. We are sending 4 peasants to gold and 1 to wood. He's going to gather a lot of wood, around 30. So we don't think about him for now for long. We call him number 5. Number 6 that is going out has a much simpler task, because he's going to gather only 10 wood, and after that he's going to start building an altar. You can queue actions with shift if you like. Number 7 that is going out will start building a farm only to 100 HP, and will start building a blacksmith afterwards. And of course you can swap those peasants, it doesn't matter. Number 8 that is coming out will start building a barrack, and now we go back to peasant number 5 because he's getting close to being summoned to the gold mine again. Number 9 will continue building a farm, and with number 10 is a little bit tricky because we have two options. Either we put number 10 to second farm, or we pull one peasant faster from the gold mine, but you need to remember that we need peasant number 10 to start the second farm, or you do this trick from the gold mine. As you can see, I'm not perfect. It was a little bit slow from my side, but it shows you the idea. And now number 11 goes to wood, and so the other peasant. And now we of course starting to build the paladin, and as we can see, we are producing peasants until we have 18 food, so we are queuing 2 more peasants. This is easy, and in this build order variation we are going to make an arcane tower. Is actually a good idea to start making arcane tower quickly, because you don't really need your if you are going to be harassed, you don't need your first rifleman to be out very fast, so because you can't creep anyway under some pressure. So you start your first rifleman, and when you get 20 wood again, you start building a third farm. Now immediately you start upgrading your arcane tower, and we are getting close to the second rifleman. We are back at 21 foot. We are going to make our second rifleman soon. And let's talk a little bit our opponent. What is to expect? So he is a very good aggressive orc that is very known for laming, but he can also play tier 3 army. So we never know with him, but he likes to harass in the early game. So that's why we made an early arcane tower with 4 rifle tech build order. Before we continue following the build order, I need to tell you what to do. So even if we suspect that he's going to harass us, we still need to not waste time. So what I like to do, I pull double militia and I go to the first camp. And when I see Farseer coming, I'll just pull back to the tower to protect it. Because Scout Tower is very fragile, it's very easy to cancel. It takes a lot of resources to repair it because you have idle workers. So I would rather pull militia and challenge my opponent a little bit instead of letting him attack my tower freely. So we will follow the build order, and I will talk a little bit about how to handle orc, but I will focus mostly on the build order. Let's continue. So as you can see, I'm always pulling double militia. We are starting our second rifleman soon. And what we see? We see Farseer with wolves. We check items. He didn't buy items from the orc shop, so he is probably not fast taking. And our goal here is to just buy time until our tower is done. As you can see, I have Worken in position to repair, but he's not interested in damaging my tower. Remember that use your holy light, first holy light quite fast. You want to start regenerating mana fast, and we see that our opponent is doing headhunters. Now we don't forget about rifleman number 3, and look, this tower is ready. We immediately switch targets to the hero, and now he cannot longer challenge us in our base for some time. Now, because we have resources, we can start building a lumber mill, which will give us a lot of wood on tier 2. And now our only job is to check if he's not creeping, not stealing our orange camp. So we try to kite to the tower, basically. And the most important thing to do is to not forget about tech that is coming soon. As we can see, we have very similar amount of wood to gold, so our tech won't be that late. We have 4 rifles, now we are strong, now we want to fight with him a little bit. But remember that it's not that easy for Paladin to regenerate his own health. So I'm playing a little bit passive because trust me, there is no point of dying for a green camp. Now I made a mistake, I went too defensive, so he will be able probably to steal the ogre. And because I think that he is creeping very heavily, I pulled 2 militia, but he was also waiting for me. So I think I can just kite back here, right? Because militia has low HP pool, so it's better to just kite back. Now I'm out of mana, but it's okay. We are making the 4th farm here. We are making, of course, the 1-0 upgrade for rifles, and rifle number 5 is being made. And again, we challenge him. Being on level 1 is not that bad. We just want to survive to our power spike. Okay, he got the item, but he also took a lot of damage. And because there is nothing here to fight for, because there is no item, I decided to creep the green camp. And we are making rifleman number 6. Now we have some time to creep, and now we have a decision to make. Because I know this guy, he's a very well-known lamer. I think I will make a second tower to be prepared for laming, but this is not universal. You need to adjust to your opponent accordingly, and if you don't know opponent, I would just prefer to make more rifles. And remember, when that our tier 2 is almost done, it's okay to save some gold. It's okay to save some wood, because you need 400 for blood mage, stuff like that. And yes, don't take too much damage on the Paladin, and we got very good items, so now I'm pulling back the Paladin to get the healing. Because like a Forest Troll High Priest usually changes his target, because he's casting spells. And what we see now, okay, so he made a lot of headhunters, and headhunters are very bad at laming. So I think in this moment, my strong suspicion is that he's going to fight me. Okay, so he's not going to lay me hard. But because my tower is in offensive position, he can kill it. But look how much mana he will lose, even though he's attacking my tower with every unit he has. And I'm not repairing because I'm slow. I was busy creeping here, so I didn't see. But this army is super easy to fight at this point. Even though we are before tier 2, but he's low level, he's no mana, so let's fight him. And of course, remember to switch target to the panda. Look how much mana we drained. And rip tower, but you did your job. Yeah, my worker micro is a little bit slow, but it's okay. And now we are on tier 2, so immediately we are starting blood mage and long rifles. That are two crucial things for Polar Rifle build order. And because he's going to fight me, I think he's going for tier 3 timing, and I really don't like to make casters, so I think I will decide to push him with just rifles with high upgrades. And yes, let's see. Like, so he will like lurk around my base. So I decided to like remake some towers. As we can see, even after investing a lot of lumber into our second hero, into long rifles upgrade, we still have a lot of wood because our attack was kinda late. And what is more important, we had a lumber mill. So peasants were collecting wood more efficiently. But of course, he can come back, and we got the best item in slot. Ring of Regeneration is very good on Paladin. And as I said, I'm thinking about making my base a little bit immune to harass. And I'm going to push him with just rifles. And if you do it early, you don't need to be worried about having too much gold with just one production building. And as you can see, we are immediately feeding mana to our Paladin. And actually, I think I can sell the cloak and buy the heal scroll, because heal scroll is so good with Pala Rifle, because you have only single target healing, and heal scroll buys you some time to do nice healing. And as we can see, as I said, I made 2 towers, but look, we are still having very little wood and gold, so we are now not having another production building is not that bad. And I decided to like fight him before he has tier 3 power spike, because with that amount of headhunters he is taking to tier 3. So I'm pulling militia to make a shop, to make a tower in his base. And he wanted to creep the middle, but surprise, I'm already there, and creeping with Polar Rifle is very, very easy, because you can heal, you can steal mana from the creeps, and with militia, I'm I'm going to his base. Okay, on level 2 we are taking banish, because we would rather heal, spend mana for healing than level 1 fire strike, and we can save our paladin, our units with the banish. Okay, what do we see now? We see Spirit Walker, so he's definitely not going to lay me. To having to, I mean, not going to lay me all the game. Of course, he can like go to my base to like force me to go back, but his units are not dedicated to laming. So it means that he wants to fight. So investing into militia here, investing into rifle upgrades and not casters is good, because this is my timing. As you can see, I have one first armor upgrade on the way already. He cannot fight me. I have superior levels. I have a lot of mana. My upgrades are done. I'm in a fighting shape, and he knows that, and he's going to run. Because he's waiting for his tier 3 power spike. And yes, he killed one of my rifles, but he spent a lot of mana for it. And of course, banish won't save me from spells. And now, we need to talk a little about closing my base. Because, as you can see, the only option that he can go for is to run to my base. Because like he was here and he run to the north, to the top. So, because I know that, I'm deciding to close my base. And because I already made a nice wall at the start, now I'm just finishing the wall with second lumber mill. And why lumber mill? Because lumber mill is cheap. And I'm upgrading the third tower, making the fourth tower. And my goal is to buy some time so I can like kill his burrows maybe, or even kill his main. Because with headhunters, he cannot kill my buildings very easily. And if he's going to lame, remember to research mercenary upgrade in your lumber mill, because it really helps, because he will attack your building mostly. So we are mentally preparing for that. I made a shop because I pulled my militia here. Maybe I pulled too many militia, to be honest. I could pull only 2. I would have more wood, or I would have easier time repairing. Okay, so he is coming as we expected. And look at this beautiful present from him. He doesn't have barrow upgrades. So I can kill all of his barrows because their armor type is not good. And rifles can kill heavy armor easily. And I can decide if I'm teleporting after killing all of his barrows, or I may be able to kill his workers of stuff. So let's see how it goes. And we see, of course, the first Tauren. So he's going to fight me, but we are not afraid of Tauren because we have Bash. I will show you why later. So we are attacking buildings that have low HP, that are important. So burrows. And look at this beautiful defense here. He already has almost 0 mana on his heroes because of the very powerful arcane tower. He cannot enter, and big mistake by me. I should just cancel this rifle and rally him inside of my base, but I just fed him here. This mistake. Also, I should drain mana from the Farseer. And now I'm just buying time. I don't want to let him in to kill all of my workers. And in the meantime, I'm targeting his burrows because they die very easily. So we need to control like 2 screens. One screen here to like shift click the burrows, and you try to repair. You try to save your militia. And look how, because the opening to my base is very small, his units are being blocked by each other. This TC Tauren is not attacking. They're blocking each other. And I got an idea. Hey, like he has so little damage output. I have some militia in my base. I have 4 workers here. I can just kill his main. This is crazy. Usually the orc is the player, the race that wants to kill mains. And now I'm just buying some time with my militia. Because if I kill his main and my main stays alive, it's GG, basically. And look, like he cannot attack my main very efficiently. He's trying to constantly reposition his army because my base is very, very very the opening is very, very small. And look, I already killed his main, and I have 4 live workers, live and well. And our army is much stronger. So I even decided to teleport offensively, and look what happens now. This is the power of Blood Mage. And remember, if you are a student of Polish Polar Rifle University, you cannot go just Flame Strike on the Blood Mage. Going Flame Strike on Blood Mage as a second spell, it's very, very, very rarely good choice. In this particular situation, going Banish was the 200 IQ move, because look at this Tauren. It's his best unit. He can shred my rifles with his AoE attack, but he's in the Banish form, and look for how long he's excluded for the fight. And I would like to remind you that I can mine gold and he can't. And he's out of gold. He's out of mana. And I can even steal mana from his caster soon. So look, I have a base, I have almost 5 workers, and he has nothing. So this game is over, actually. That's the last thing to. Of course, he has some army with Taurens, so we should just play defensively. And I will make a small mistake at the end. Because yes, we make mistakes even on Polish Polar Rifle University, and I'm closing my base because I'm afraid of wolves, that he will send wolves, and when he has Farcier on level 3 and he's killed 2 points into wolves, they have like a big hitbox, basically like a rifleman, like a Tauren. So when my base is closed fully, he cannot go there. He cannot enter. Okay, so he's coming back. He's in this Aline mode, and I should just kite. But you know me, I'm SaulApeMan. I decided that I can fight. Look at this TC. He's in the Banish form. His most important unit that he waited for so long to make is not attacking, but now this TC is in a perfect situation. He uses his heal scroll, and instead of banishing it again, he's attacking my units, and I'm almost like dying here, and I decided that I made a huge mistake with this, and now I'm using defensive banish. Now I'm finally another defensive banish. Look, he cannot kill my Blood Mage, and now I have time to give mana to Paladin. Panda is dead. I decided to heal my Blood Mage because Blood Mage is much more important than a Rifleman, and he has no income. He has no more army. I have my power spike. I'm gathering gold. I'm gathering lumber. And even if he's remaking, he's very, very slow, and I can just go there and cancel his main, and I have my base secure again. And just last kill on the Farseer. And the game is over. We won, even if the opponent was very strong, and it looked easy. And as I said, we spend a lot of our attention on the build order here, and in the future videos I will focus on how to choose your tier 2 strategy versus other races, on other build orders. Many videos are going to come from Polish Polar Rifle University. It was SaulApeMan, the sitting president of Polish Polar Rifle University. See you guys in other videos.